and then is short acting enough that it's not working 4 hours later, then causing hypoglycemia. So that's really the unmet goal of Prandial. It was hoped that the Afrezza product, the Technosphere, which works much more rapidly and has also got a shorter duration of action, would be that insulin, and it's still on the market. It's not being promoted because the uptake, endos just didn't want to use it after we had the inhaled insulin by Pfizer taken off the market with increased risk of lung cancer, even though the Technosphere particle size is much different, but endos just don't want to use it. And I mean, I would use it, but patients don't want to use it because they've seen they've heard about the lung cancer thing too, and the government took it off the market, and so we need another prandial insulin that's going to work more rapidly, have a shorter duration of action, and can match up with the meal much more like your endogenous beta cell would, and that's still an unmet need.
Sure. Now, I understand that there's now an ultra rapid acting insulin on the market. I think
yes.
from Novo. How does that fit into filling this need?
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction, but it's still not as rapid in onset as we would like. But that is going in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the insulin's more in a monomeric form. So when you inject it, it is going to work more rapidly. The other insulins are usually like a dimer, or the 2 or 3, and so they have to dissociate to make a monomer, and then that monomer acts. So that's really it's not that, it's just it's in a monomeric form instead of dimerics, but it's not a different insulin structure. It's not a different amino acid structure, kind of like Lantus is different, or Pidra, So it is different, but it's the same insulin, but it's in a monomeric form, so it acts more rapidly, but it's still not rapid enough.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what's your overall impression of this product? I mean, you mentioned it's still not rapid enough, but
yeah. Well, I think I think the concept is a good one, but I don't think it distinguishes itself enough to make me want to use it, and except maybe in very special circumstances. How I usually get around, because we've had to work with what we've had on the market, going back to the 1970s. So what you do is you have to give the insulin like a half hour, 40 minutes, depending on the patient, before they eat. And then, because what you're trying to do is match up the onset of insulin action with the peak absorption of food from the gut. So even that's going to be a little bit different in each patient. We've done studies that kind of looked at this. And patients with type 2 diabetes, interestingly enough, they have resistance to uptake of insulin from the capillary bed. So they even have to get insulin before the type 1, where usually it's absorbed pretty readily from the capillary bed once you inject it subcutaneously. So
gotcha.
These, so we're aware of these things. So I'll do little experiments with the patient. So they won't eat, they'll inject, and then we'll do blood sugars every 15 minutes to see how fast it's starting to work. So we get that part of the equation down, and then also looking at different meals and seeing the peak glucose with different meals, because that's going to also be different depending on the pizzas, one where you have a very prolonged action on glycemia and versus different foods if you have them